your doorstep anywhere in the world, Canada, internationally. From 112 gram bags, 224 gram bags to 448 gram bags, and new merchandise coming as well too. Tanoas, Sulus, Billows, everything Fiji. For all your fresh kava needs, visit bulakava.ca. bulakava.ca.
In a world of technology, the future is online. Tune in to www.radiobulamasi.com. radiobulamasi.com.
Anything mentioned in this program is not intended or directed towards anyone specific. Copyright of Radio Bulamasti.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is my pleasure to have this program on the Voice of Zion. Today we're going to discuss a very important topic before my program starts. It's about a friend. Friendship and friend is very important today in the world. So it's my pleasure to have the director, the founder of our radio broadcast, Sister Aisha Bali. She's the founder of Bula Masri as well as Shana TV. She's a very prominent and well-known citizen of Canada. If you're watching from around the world, this is Surrey, British Columbia, and today is my pleasure to choose our wonderful woman who is an upcoming broadcaster. And I've heard about her, seen her, and moved with her, and we know she has a lot to share. So today we're going to discuss about this toxic friend and the best friend. We will be having a discussion openly about this particular person called toxic friend. A toxic friend is the one who has a very negative and bad behavior. And we have these friends in our families, in our workplace, and in our community. So we have to choose very carefully who is around us. There is a word, Madam Aisha, is your association determines who you are.
That's very true, Pastor Ajit. Thank you very much for the introduction, and we welcome everyone to our channel on Radio Bulamasti, Shana TV, and Dreams Radio BBC. This program on purpose is in English, so we can target a wider range of viewers and listeners. And yes, toxic friends, we all go through it. It's not targeted or directed towards anyone specific. General topic, and it happens between spouses, kids, in schools, at home, at a workplace. We talk a lot about discrimination and diversity. So this fits really well in the program that I've just started.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
And I was very excited when you approached me and said, "Hey, Aisha, let's do this." And I'm like, "Yay, I just started a program called Be Bold, Be Brave." So thank you very much for that. And yes, toxic friends.
Yeah, toxic, if not only the friends, you find that in the leadership too.
Very
leadership
true.
in the organization,
Very
leadership in the relation, in the religious sector, community.
Anywhere between like humanity, it exists.
Yes.
Right?
The toxic means actually it's a negative behavior, and it really affects people's emotions and behavior. What's your take on that one? How people get emotionally affected in a friendship?
See, it starts with great friendship, from my experience. It starts with great friendship. And then what I feel is sometimes if they don't get their way, sometimes they start feeling insecure.
Right.
Sometimes they start feeling jealous.
That's correct.
Sometimes, a lot of times, this is just my experience, my opinion, misunderstanding.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I know you've got a lot more experience than I do because you're involved in communities quite a bit
Right.
than I am. I'm mostly behind the scene,
Oh.
on camera and in front of the mic.
Right.
But I know you are quite involved in the public. So this is the first time we've actually done this program. So a little bit about you, Pastor Ajit.
Well,
Where are you originally from? I know
I don't know how that we're going to fit
Hey,
into our
this-
discussion, but
This
you
is
know.
impromptu, no preparation. He calls me this morning, say, "Hey, how about this?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." So, where are you originally from?
I'm a born Sri Lankan.
Sri Lankan, all right.
I started my studies in my hometown, Jaffna, Sri Lanka. Then I went to India to do my higher studies.
All right.
Then finished my university,
Uh-huh.
worked there for a while. Then my mother was in Africa at that time. She was a great teacher, and my father was an audit general officer.
Well,
So me and my brother and my sister, we all educated in university. Those days we have music and degree is one of an important
yes.
thing, part of our life.
very true.
So we were very good in music. My teacher, my sister is a higher local music teacher,
All right.
and I'm a musical man. My sons all in studied here in music degree first
Maybe
before
that's
they get
why
to
we
the thing.
connected, because I love music.
So in church we play music. So then I immigrated to Canada. Getting back to this friendship topic, friends are very important, right?
Friends are very important,
So-
they're special, and sometimes they could be more special than family too,
Exactly.
because you get to choose them.
Exactly,
right?
and if you choose a wrong friend, then it will affect your life, and
Yes.
sometimes the friends, how they behave, and if you get connect with them, you caught up in their behavior.
That's right.
And your life change. It affects their family. Now, I see there is an issue of selfishness in friendship. What's your understanding? How this selfishness affect in the friendship?
First of all, if there's friendship, from my understanding, it should be not 50-50, it shouldn't be 80-20, it should be give and take.
Okay.
Right? You understand me where I'm coming from, I understand you where you're coming from. So selfishness shouldn't come in place. And the moment selfishness comes in place, I think that's where you start having issues.
Correct.
Right? But why does selfishness come in? When you chose that friend and you chose to be around that person, support them. If you can't, then don't say anything, just be there for them. Sometimes with friends, we don't see them for months and months and years.
Right.
And when you connect with them, it's like you never left.
Right.
Right?
Right. I think another thing is for selfishness is some people, they don't have an open communication, open
Very true,
relationship.
very true.
There's a hidden secret within themselves, and inner motives or inner secrets there. Sometimes that will show up. For example, you trust one friend and you give the whole house for
Yes,
themselves,
yes.
or you are trust in their business.
Yes.
So when they come in, normally they say, "Oh, you are everything. You
Yes,
are beautiful.
yes.
You are wonderful. We do everything for you." But sometimes, the selfishness is rooted inside
So-
deep, and it pops up when that greediness comes out.
So let me ask you a question. This is what I don't understand. So in the beginning, you were so good and everything was us together, everything, right? All of a sudden that changed, and you said that greediness comes in, that selfishness comes in. So why? Okay, so disagreements happen, misunderstandings happen. You always talk about it and get over it. But how can a person be so good to you at one point and then so bad within like a day or so? In the next, like in a blink of an eye sometimes. How can that same person be so bad?
What comes to my mind is that basically trust.
So what happened that the trust flipped in like, in just moments?
If you go very deep into that, first you have got to trust yourself, and you have to trust the person whom you have in contact with. The trust is very important thing, because you do not trust yourself, you have no confidence in what
So
you're
it's
doing.
not
So then
trusting-
doubt comes, then you started to wave, then you started to show that in your action, right?
So is it true that you don't have confidence, or you don't start doubting the other person, you start doubting yourself?
Exactly. The reason you started doubting because you do not know exactly what you want in life.
I see.
When you know what you want in life, when you get associate with somebody, or for example, you find a partner, you get married, and that person has become a life partner.
Very true.
So it's a partnership. In the partnership, there should be give and take. There should be a forgiveness.
Very true.
Bear with each other, submit to each other, understand to each other, let go in life whatever you go through, because they are your partners.
Very
Partnership
true.
in the
Very
friendship, partnership in the company, partnership in business. That's a key thing. So today, people are not maintaining that trust. That is a cause
True.
in the family, between the husband and wife, even between the parents and the children.
Yes, and this is not just friends that we're talking about. We're talking about relationship in general.
Exactly.
Right? For me, spouses should be friends.
Right?
Shouldn't they be?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You should be friends with
Absolutely.
your spouse. You
Right.
cannot judge your spouse. You cannot control your spouse.
Exactly.
You cannot betray your spouse. Well,
Exactly.
betrayal comes after that understanding and that respect is lost.
Right.
Don't you think?
Right. That's
Right?
correct.
I'm not an expert by no means. Just my understanding. Okay?
You're absolutely
Just my
right.
opinion.
Absolutely right.
So if you are not, if you're not understanding, you lose respect.
Yeah. But what do you think about the controlling? Controlling is the very bad nature
Yes.
in a relationship, in a
Yes,
friendship.
yes, yes.
Because you can manipulate the person the way you want,
Yes.
and then you shout, you scream, and you say, this is the way it had to be. That affects the relationship. Isn't that controlling nature in a friendship, in a relationship, is a bad apple, so to speak?
It is, because you know what? The minute they don't get their way,
Exactly.
the other person becomes the bad person. Doesn't matter how much you've done. And I don't like it when you do something for someone and then you go brag about it. Whether when you are with that person or when you are not with that person. You should be doing things from the goodness of your heart. And
Exactly.
then not go brag about it afterwards or while you're doing it. And when that friendship for some reason became sour, if it was a true relationship, I think it will come back again. From what I'm thinking, it will come back. Misunderstandings happen, people kind of get apart, and then they realize it, they both realize it, they get some space sometimes, and then they come back. But that's if you love someone from your heart. Right? But in the meantime, what I've seen is people go and anything that you have talked about, anything that you talk to that person about, they add to it.
That is
They
not
may
a good friendship.
and the thing you said about toxic, they make that conversation so toxic. Even though it was a good conversation, they've added poison to it and then spread it around. Because that person was so good for you at one point. Now that person is poison. It's the
Exactly.
most worst thing that could have happened to you.
That's it's really, we are talking about toxic friendship. You know, another thing you mentioned is about goodness of the heart. And also, that's a very important thing in a relationship, in a friendship. Your heart has to be good.
True. Very
So
true.
if the heart is not good, there is wickedness comes in, and secret thought comes in, and you will even go to the extreme of hurting your spouse, hurting your children, hurting your brothers and sisters. See, we'll see today, even though like back home in Fiji or Sri Lanka, we grew up with our own brothers and sisters
Very
as
true.
one,
Yes.
ate in the same plate, you
Yes.
know. But when they come here, for some reason, whether in the marriage or in a relationship, brother said something, sister said something.
yeah.
They are like a dog and the bone living
Oh, yeah.
in Fiji. I mean, people who are
Wherever you
viewing this program, listening, definitely they should able to check this one.
I've had
That's very bad.
so
Why
many-
this is happening here?
I've had so many fights with my sisters, but you know what? When the time comes, you dare not hurt my family.
No, but
right?
why they are fighting like this one, brothers and sisters? I can't understand.
Well, misunderstanding and just, like you said, selfishness. Right?
Yes, okay.
But it's only it's not from the heart.
Right.
It just happens in the spur of the moment.
Yes.
But that's different than when your family or when people go and start trashing you
Right.
afterwards,
Right.
right? Having these small fights, whether it's with your friend, whether it's your parents, whether it's your kids, whether it's your co-workers, agreement, disagreement is healthy in a relationship. But when it goes past that, where you are trashing them, you're making them so bad, you know, you disrespect them in the public.
Right.
And anything that you shared with the other person, whether it was good or a secret, or even if it wasn't a secret, you take that and you go spread that around with toxicity.
Exactly. But what if
Why do we get to that point?
I think what's come to my mind is some wounds and hurts and disappointments which is rooted within our heart, and they allow that to grow. They do not forgive each other, let go. Simple thing, that's a very bad spirit which hurts individuals' emotions. Psychologically, it hurts because any simple thing which wounds you and you resent, and that is called offensive spirit. We call it in a religious circle, it's called offensive spirit.
Okay.
So, offensive nature within you, the simple hurts and wounds stay in you. You don't deal with this. That will show up any moment and any time if you see any negative reaction from your peers and the relationship. And that has to be dealt with.
So, Pastor Ajit, I'm Aisha, and Pastor Ajit is here with me. Great topic, and you're listening to Radio Bula Masti. You're on Shana TV. You will be on YouTube as well as you're listening to us on Dreams Radio, BBC, and GKM Media, all these platforms. And we're talking in English today so we can get a larger amount of viewers, and we can reach out to more people. Because more people understand English than other languages. So once again, today's topic is toxicity, how a great friendship ends up in a toxic relationship, whether it's friends, family, doesn't matter. So that's where we are at right now. And so I have a question for you this time, again.
Sure, no problem.
So we are best friends,
Right.
right? And you just said that there's people are hurt inside. People have lots to deal with inside, and that's why a lot of times they come across that way, right? So here's another thing: is
How do you deal with this? Is
so you and I are friends,
Right.
Good friends, right?
Okay.
And so now something happened, and I'm against you, right? For whatever reason. Now I'm going out and trashing you, and anything we talked about, I'm talking about. How would you feel about me, and how would you treat me, and how would you deal with that situation?
Very, very interesting one, right? If somebody is going and basically I'm a religious person, I will say that I have also been in this situation. I learned a lot.
That's why I'm
My
asking.
very nature is that whatever mistake I make, I'm not a perfect man. I made a lot of mistakes,
Neither
but
am
I also went through a lot of issues. But I learned to silence myself, right? It's no point of going and after them when a person is so foolish, so unwise. I don't use the word stupid, unwise.
Yes.
And they are provoking somebody, they are deliberately doing harm to somebody. You got to understand there is a godly universal principle operate, no matter what religion, what faith you have. What you sow, you will reap.
Very true.
If you are sowing some gossip and, lies or false accusation, that's a 10 commandments, by the way. One of the commandments in the Bible out of the 10 is, thou shalt not say any or false information or lies about another
The other
person.
person.
That's it. I'm going to preach on that, my next subject, but I'm just telling you that is a commandment of God. Now, doesn't matter who you are, it is a commandment of God. So the moment you plant that seed, spiritually speaking, the curse will come to you. The more you tell lies, you are giving room to the so-called Satan or evil spirit, evil nature. That has a very bad consequences. This tongue, the Bible says, has got life and death. Look at your tongue. This is very important. It has got life and death. It is the root cause of many problems. You shut your mouth, you maintain your peace, your blessings will be in your life. If you say good things, blessing to the people who hear. If I tell you bad things to you, now what is that? Is that I am passing into your life, imparting into your life negativity and
Toxic.
curses, and that's a toxic relationship, a toxic nature I am sending into you. Whether you say to your husband, your wife, or your friend, who goes and talk around.
Yeah.
My nature, I don't call in there, why you are talking to me like that?
Yeah.
I won't say it.
No.
I will keep quiet. I will watch through the eyes
Yeah.
what's happened to you. Because the battle in this nature, according to the biblical principle, is not belong to us. If you are a God-fearing man, if you are a God-fearing woman, and if you are honest in your heart, if you are sincere in your heart, and you have goodness coming out of your heart, why you want to go after the person who's planting evil about you? Let them reap.
Very true. This is a very good advice. Quite often what I see, and I do it myself as well at times, I'm human too, I make mistakes and I get carried away too, is react.
Exactly.
React.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Oh, she said that, he said that, why?
I should say that. I should react
and we
to that.
start analyzing
Exactly.
someone else's words. Right?
And imagine.
And imagine.
Right.
And maybe those words that came back to you after circulating through so many people was not exactly how it was said.
It will come with the nose and the ears and
Everything.
extra thing.
With a
right.
frown face.
Exactly. And you get upset for that.
But when we didn't hear it ourselves, we didn't say it. But we are getting upset by someone else's words that got twisted around by the time it got to you.
Right. That's very toxic.
So very good advice that you gave us there is do not react and let them reap what they saw. If they are passing toxicity, if they're passing negativity, it's going to go to them. We should not react.
I think another important thing, Madam Aisha, is that we have to give space to the people. When a person is toxic or when the person is behaving negatively or having a kind of impacting badly, give some space to them. We're trying to get into their space, trying to deal with them, then we get hurt, they get hurt. We actually make things worse. So,
So you're now better than the other person that is going around talking
exactly.
about stuff, right?
And giving space is another important thing. Another thing is I want to see is that you should have maybe, keep your conversation to the minimum.
Very true. The less you talk, the better it is sometimes. Last night, actually, it's so weird that how this all came together. Last night, I heard someone, one of the hosts last night, did a program, and the question was, you are a prisoner. If you tell the truth, if you lie, you get shot.
Correct.
If you tell the truth, you get hung.
Yes.
So what do you do? It was something like that.
Okay.
Right? So what do you do? And I'm like, just keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything.
That's why sometimes when you are silent and if you keep your word short, that's really resolved. I do a lot. I heard a lot. If your husband is shouting, if your wife is screaming, even if your older children are abusing you,
Yeah.
shut your mouth.
Yeah.
The problem
You
here,
know how hard that is?
that's the problem, so to speak, for women. Don't take it wrong, right? I have watched. Don't take it wrong. It's happened in every woman of Indian
No
background.
offense to
No
women.
offense to anybody.
We tend to react faster, but there are men that do it too.
The men will try to show power,
True.
but the
Control.
woman try to defend.
Very true. Very true.
Because that's the issue. So on the form of defending, they will bring your uncle, your auntie, your father, your mother, your generation back home. What they did, he did, you did. Oh, they will even recollect 15 years ago what you have forgotten. That is absurd, nonsense. That is where people should to keep their mouth shut. They don't stay on the topic. For example, if in the house with the husband and wife, if a husband said some wife is screaming, hey, why you didn't do that? Just shut and just quietly do it and walk away. Don't raise your flag. What do you think as a woman? Come on. Is that true that...
I think a lot of times what happens, and this is why I would yell and scream at that point, is because you've got so much built in inside, the frustration, the anger, and you just want to take it all out.
Right. That
Right?
is a good point. Why you were bottle? No, you cannot say. I can't
Because
say
you
why.
frustrate me.
Exactly.
Pastor Ajit.
So when a person frustrate a partner, a friend, what they have been holding inside, it comes out. Now, how to deal with them? Come on.
That's the question.
How to deal with them? This is, you have to communicate with each other, sit and talk. You know, how many people today, you
But-
come to Canada, back home, you have nothing else, we don't have all this what we see back home.
Yeah.
We sit and talk after the grow up. We sit, put the chair outside, enjoy the
I
blue sky.
Oh, we don't here because we're too busy on our
Too
phones.
busy. So
On
that's
our phones.
that's on our phone. Exactly.
On social media.
Social media, Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram and all this stuff.
And-
This is a biggest problem.
And you know what? Most of the drama is created on Facebook.
Exactly. Exactly.
Something happens in our home and we have to post it on Facebook so the whole world sees it. Right? The whole world
This is another important thing. Whatever you do at home to the children, to everything, immediately they want to put in the Facebook.
And then people will say, oh, you going and telling around people that this is what's happening in our family when you are the one who's putting everything publicly on Facebook, on social media.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important topic we are discussing
So we'll
about.
discuss that in our future programs. Be bold, be brave. You're listening to Radio Bulamasti, Shana TV, GKM Media, and Dreams Radio BBC. Now you can watch or view or listen to any of these platforms just by downloading the app, GKM Media app. So you can download it on your phone or go onto the website www.gkmmedia.com and you can pick any platform you want from there. So, and this station is running 24 hours a day. We're here for the community, and anything that we discuss here in this program today, it's not intended or directed towards anyone specific. General topic happens. I'm no expert. I have with me Pastor Ajit, who is a pastor who preaches, and so I'm not perfect by no means. I make mistakes. I learn from my mistakes. I try, and we're here to talk about what's happening through this platform.
Excellent, excellent. So we were talking about the toxic relationship and the
Yes, let's
friendship.
go back to that.
Now let's go back to that. Now there is toxic relationship and the friendship between the parents and the children. See, I wanted to bring a topic on how, even though you see your children are going in a wrong way, they are behaving bad, parents are somehow responsible to bring them into into the world.
Very true.
And in our religious teaching, God, Father, Mother, and the children, right? So the blessing is very important. Parents blessing the children, very
Yes,
important for the
yes,
future. If our parents doesn't bless us, or we as parents doesn't
Don't
bless
bless
our
our
children,
children.
their life is in a mess.
Very true.
Instead, what we are doing from the young age, we are calling them naughty, bad boy,
Yes.
monkey.
Yes.
Huh?
Call
You-
them names.
Names.
And it's negative.
And you
Negative names.
you are actually bringing curse into them.
Yes, yeah. The other thing is what happens between parents, the kids see and they watch.
Exactly.
And they learn. And
Right.
that's what they grow up with.
Right.
Right? The other thing that I've noticed, Pastor Ajit, is no parent will ever want to hurt their children.
Exactly,
Unless there is
exactly.
something mentally wrong
Right.
with a parent.
Right.
And that's not by choice. Sometimes there is no choice and the parent is like that.
Right,
Right.
right.
They were like that as a child and then they grew up or they
Right.
had some issues in their family.
Right.
Growing up, challenges, and so they turned out that way. No excuse.
Right.
But no one is perfect. Everyone is different in different ways, right?
Right.
Everyone's parenting ways is different. But no parent in their right mind will ever want to hurt their children.
Exactly.
When parents discipline, when parents say something, the kids hold a grudge against their parents.
Yes, yes. I think that basically the way they discipline the children. And, the
And then
words
you
they
go
say.
around and you trash your parent or your
Right,
parents.
Yeah.
How sad is that?
That comes later.
That comes
but we
later,
have to
yes.
also to hold the responsibility of the parents how they behave themselves with their
Yes,
children at a
yes,
young age.
yes.
You know, if you look into the Canadian way, this I noticed when I came. They sit and talk, discuss over the meal. You know, their dining table is very important. You
Yes,
see that?
yes.
Even the British time, old days, they all sit
Yes.
together, they pray,
Yes.
they all sit together. But here it doesn't happen like that.
Not anymore. It used to happen.
That
Not
is
anymore.
the biggest problem.
Some families still do it. I see it, I hear it. Some families still make that effort to have dinner together on one table.
Exactly.
And this COVID, I think, was a blessing for
Right.
a lot of families
Right.
where we weren't going out. So, and everyone was stuck in the home, in the house at the same time. It was dinner time, so everyone got together by the dining table or at the dining table and had dinner together.
And also very important, I'm very particular about this as a man. Man, head of the house, has to sit in the master table. You know, he has to sit in the master table. I see my uncle, I know, when he
Yeah.
comes and sit, when I come together,
Yeah,
you know, here we sit with him. He is a Fijian man, he'll sit
Yeah,
in the master
yeah,
table.
yeah.
You know, that's very important. Give that honor to the head of your house, your
You
family.
know what? My father-in-law, still, till this day,
Okay.
he has his own chair and no one dare take that chair. That's called respect for him.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah, he has his chair. We know where he sits. And even if we're sitting there while he's not there, as soon as he comes to the dining table, we get up.
Right.
That's his chair.
Yes.
That's how much respect we've given him.
You know, the
But-
word comes to me is that the family which pray together stick together, and the family you eat together will stick together.
Very true. Very true.
So it's very important that relationship must be built
Uh-huh.
in a family. That when at least once a day, sit with your family and eat together.
Very true. Very
You know,
well said.
this is a very practical way of building a good relationship.
Yeah.
So there are times. Another thing I wanted to say is that one in that to avoid this toxic relationship, have an open communication.
Open, but open communication will happen if you're there together.
But we have to
One
make
ha-
we have to make a way for it. You know, like if okay, come and sit. I want to talk to you, or sit with the family. I want to talk to you.
But there's no respect. That's the thing.
Respect from when back home. We all had respect. Why we come to Canada, we change.
But
Why we are getting into this bad culture? Please
Yes.
explain to me.
you know
Why is that we stopped it? What is stopping us? That we cannot have a good relationship. See, we are losing our children. You know.
Yes,
We are
and-
losing our children.
And I don't think it's being in Canada, because I'm seeing this happen in Fiji now as well.
Okay. Now,
So I think it's the time that's changing.
changing.
It's
All right.
not the country we are in. It's the time that's changing so fast.
So people are changing now.
Yes.
So that is
Whether
not
it
healthy
be
for the
stress,
family.
the fast-moving lifestyle that we have, everyone is earning. The more you earn, the less it is in a family. Before, one person used to work,
Exactly.
and the whole family was fed
Right.
and taken care of.
Right.
Now the whole family works, and we still can't make it work.
Now,
Right?
will that be helpful for long life? No.
No, the
Now,
way-
where is affecting? It's affecting our future generation.
That's right. The way, and that's what I was going to say, is the way the world is moving. It's scary. Like, I'm scared for my grandkids. What's going to happen to them?
Right.
How will they communicate? How will they manage? Because right now I'm feeling it.
Wow. Wow.
Right?
wow,
So
wow.
what's going to happen 2 generations or 3 generations from me?
But another thing also, yes, it's a future generation, they be disturbed by the behavior. But how about finance? The finance is a major problem which bring another toxic, bad
Yes,
relationship
yes.
between the family, between the husband, with the wife, with the children. You know, people are fighting over money in the family.
See, here's another
And the
thing.
divorce is coming, you know,
Oh, it's
during
getting
this a lot of
worse.
divorce
It's-
because of the finance. So what's your understanding? Why this finance is very important, it's affecting today?
See, I'm not as experienced or I'm not a professional in this, but from what I see, look at social media.
Right?
One person has bought this Tesla now,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
right?
Yes,
Tesla
yes.
is the new in thing
Right,
right now.
right.
So now the other person seeing it on Facebook, oh, I have to have it too.
Wow.
Pressure's on,
Right.
right? Pressure is on. Now I gotta make more money. So you go work hard.
Right.
You work 2-3 jobs. There's no time. You're always chasing after something.
Right.
And a lot of times what I've noticed as well is, again, my opinion, my observation, when you're not happy within yourself, you're just chasing. You're just chasing after material stuff. And you're never happy. So you lose what you have, and you're never able to get what you really want. And deep down, you don't know what you want.
You're not
looking for-
content.
You're not content because
Exactly.
that happiness you're looking for is not there. And the other thing that gets me is the people that can't manage their own life.
Own finance, own
Own
life.
life, own finance.
Right.
They're struggling in their own life, yet
A lack of management skill in them.
they're out there
Right.
trying to manage everyone else's life.
Right. Not themselves.
No.
Yeah.
Look, fix yourself, fix myself first before I go and start fixing other people's life.
So the finance is a very big issue.
Finances that leads money.
Right.
Everyone
Right.
needs money. Money makes you greedy as well.
Right, right.
Sometimes the more you make, the more you want. And the less you have.
Well, this come to my mind. I know a man in this country. Work hard. Early morning 6:30 he's out. He comes in the evening. Saturday he is out. Sunday he is out. Wife is left alone. Children are left alone. All he cares is making money.
But is he really making money or is he just trying to get away from them?
Well,
Are the kids working? Is the wife working? Or does the
they are working. Everybody working, but he has no time for the family.
Okay,
You know,
here's the
I'll
thing.
tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Some of our men go and sit in the shop and drink, and they don't see
Okay.
some of these people I see beside my
Yes,
house.
yeah.
All the men are outside, sitting there till 1 o'clock in the
Okay.
night. I wonder what these wives are doing, what children are doing, why these men are outside drinking coffee and blah blah blah.
Okay.
They're doing outside.
Here's the thing. Do they have to or do they want to? Do I want to do this or do I have to do this?
Good question. Good
Are you
question.
trying to avoid something? Are you trying to stay away on purpose? Everyone's life and situation is different. Some choose to on purpose,
On purpose, yes.
right?
That's correct.
And some have to. If the wife is working, if the husband is working, kids working, maybe their expenses are so much higher because some people are all about material.
Well, you're not satisfied. Listen, if you are bringing $6,000, $7,000, okay, say $8,000 a month, your rent is $2,000, your mortgage is $2,000, you have $4,000.
Maybe their shopping habit is so bad they need another $5,000 to make up for it.
But don't you think relationship and the friendship within your families is far beyond you making money.
That's true. But like I said earlier, this is just me. Sometimes we are not content. Doesn't matter how much money you're making, you're not happy inside. So you're finding excuses and reasons
Yes.
and chasing after different things to find happiness, and you're still not happy because you're not finding what's making you happy.
You know, why I'm laughing is that I have a little problem with this based on my experience. Truly, I'm telling you. I'm from this country, the time I came to this country, in order to take care of my children, I work part-time. I work 2 different hospitals, 3 hospitals, make money, but I said to myself, I'm going to go out, I'm going to spend time outside, I'm going to treat myself, treat the family. I'm very careful about spending time at home. Now I know I worked enough. There's nothing else other than sweet home.
Yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
all right. But there are people in the age of 80, 90, they are workaholic.
And some people enjoy that. That's how.
But you know how it's affecting emotionally? How it's affecting a relationship? You know, father is not there, mother is not there. You know, look, that's what there is distancing. Good word. Distancing is taking place between family relationships.
Okay, so here's another thing. In today's generation.
Toxic relationship.
Toxic relationship. Here's another thing in today's generation. Father's home, mother's home, where are the kids? In their room.
Of that.
In their room,
Right.
on their phone, in school. How often do they get out of their bedroom?
That's true. That's true.
Right?
That's
That
true.
too.
Yes, it's happening. Yes.
It's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the world is changing so fast. And you watch today's movies, Bollywood movies or whatever, Hollywood movies, and you watch movies from back in the days. There was so much meaning to it. It was sentimental. There was love. There was respect. Now they don't even have enough clothes on themselves. Right? So see back then to now, see where the world was back then and where the world is now. Look at the songs. They don't have any feelings in them.
Right.
So unfortunately, and this is very, very sad, and it scares me, what's going to happen generations down. People used to work physically, work hard. Now everything's being replaced by robots.
Exactly.
So see how the world is changing? And it's changing so fast.
Now, what do you go? Are you going to let it go, or are you going to say, okay, fall with what's happening today in the world, or we have to go back to the basic? I think we have to go back to the basic, because when the way the world goes, you will lose the foundation.
Don't you think we've already lost it?
Exactly. So it's not too late. What I would suggest as a pastor, I would suggest go back to the old foundation. Spend time with your peers, your family, your children. Get to know them. Understand their problem, their weakness. Because, as you say, as we say, they are fighting.
Yes.
They are actually struggling with the pressure of this world. Their mind is working very hard, and they are high knowledge, and they are driven to achieve something because there's a pressure coming in.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So now who is going to put the brake? It's the elders of the family.
But you know what happens? I like what you say. I wish we can do that.
No, you wish. That is the way it has to work.
I want it to work that way. But I feel that if you want to bring back that, you are left behind. Because you are one in a million. But thank God COVID kind of slowed us down.
Exactly,
It's not a good
exactly.
thing that we lost so many lives because of COVID, but looking on the other side, it slowed us down. It made Families stay at home.
Exactly. Now, what that tells you? Tell me what that tells you. Okay, you are saying, slow it down. What is the lesson? We learned a lot of lesson out of this COVID.
Very true.
Lot of lesson, religious wise, spiritual wise, relationship wise, financial wise. We learned a lot of lessons. Now, as you say, now the family is staying together because of COVID.
Yes.
There is a lesson, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to learn.
Yes.
We got to understand what is that we learned. We were put into a situation to spend time,
True.
stay home, and understand each other,
Understand.
build the relationship.
Yeah.
See? So toxic.
And hopefully we can do this. We can start. It's never too late. If everyone does a little bit.
No, first it'll start from within us.
True. Very
You
true.
have to make the choice. Choice is, madam, is left to us.
Yes. Very
If we do not make the choice, like for example, we are older generation, so to speak, right? We have values,
Very true.
okay? And we are very disappointed that values are not operating today in the present world. And we see the drawbacks, consequences, it's showing and reflecting on our children and the grandchildren. Now, when you see a grandchildren, many of you have grandchildren. Now, how are you going to take control and make some positive changes and values? You as a elderly person, now don't just run away. Oh, that's children,
how
grandchildren, they
it
have
is.
their own.
Yeah.
This is a very bad thing.
So what you're saying is don't accept that this is how it is.
Exactly.
You continue your traditions. You still
Your
instill
values, I will say your values. Your
Instill
values.
your values in
Tradition
your
is different, but the
grandchildren.
values of all values is very important. Because this, we have to put our feet down. Because when we see this is increasing, the people are disappearing. Look at that guy in Kyle, the case. 17 years old boy took the rifle, the gun to this protest. Right? So look at him, his nature.
Yeah.
He was playing with video games, all these killing video games. So he developed that
That's
inner
all he
nature,
had, yeah.
the attitude. So it is a responsibility of us who have learned good stuff back home,
Very true.
right? Because those days we never seen
Yes.
these things.
No.
We need to maintain that and transfer, pass on to our future generation, our grandchildren and children, and say, listen. They will say, oh, yeah, this is
But if
person
they
work.
still register it somewhere in their brain, they do register
It will work. When they get married, when they have children, then they will
They'll
think about the
remember
good
the
things.
words. They'll
See-
remember the words
Yeah.
we
So
say.
you're planting a seed. I'm using the word planting a seed.
Yeah, yeah.
See, planting a seed is a responsibility of us.
So this goes back. This goes back to where we had started.
Yes.
And good way of ending it.
Yes.
Negativity,
Yes.
toxicity,
Yes.
bad
Bad choices.
choices.
Bad relationship.
We're planting all those, and that's what we're gonna
Reap.
reap.
Aha, very good.
So
Yes.
same thing with our kids today, the generation. That's very, very good advice, Pastor Ajit. No matter what, no matter how fast the world is moving forward, instill the values in our children so that when they grow up, they will be someone's friend, have a family, they'll be working outside. So they'll remember those values that we instill in them today.
But before you go, I want to see about these choices.
Sure.
Okay, choices is very important in life. What you choose,
Very true.
right? Where you put your hand on, whom you choose, and what situation you choose, what sentence you choose.
Very true. Every
Choice,
word.
choice.
Yes.
Very important in life. You choose a bad apple, that's the end of it. You choose a bad friend, you are done. Like for example, you choose a friend who is drinking, right? You may not have the habit initially, but you have to sit with them.
True.
A little bit drink. It adds on. Then what will say, hey, I'm going for a party. So he leave his wife, his children,
go
and
to the
he is in the shop drinking, right?
Yes.
And what time he comes home? 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right? He comes and sleep. He doesn't know what happened in the house where the children
And
is.
then you yell and scream.
And you
at
yell
them.
and scream. Same boys, don't even some of the ladies are like that too. They go for party, go hang around. The man is alone. So what, he get bored and he'll started to texting to the neighbor's housewife, right? Girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know, this is very important. You have to know what you choose, and especially when somebody is saying something, shut your mouth.
Yes.
Guard
Very
your
true.
mouth. Guard yourself. Protect yourself. Protect your image. Very important. Your image is very important. Image. I'm talking about image.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, very
You don't
true,
want to
very true.
spoil your image. You
Oh.
worked very hard to build your image.
But the other thing is, those toxic people will try to ruin your image because you're successful.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what in that case?
That's very important. You have an image, you build your image. Do not allow the evil person to put evil nature, evil image on you. So you have to guard your image. So it works with everything. What you look, what you hear, what you speak, what you touch, where you go. I repeat again. Your eyes, your ears, your mouth, sometimes no see. People no see around other people's life,
Very nosy, very nosy.
right? And where you go, where your feet goes, do not go to the place where you should not be going. Don't go with somebody's house, sit there, la 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 la, blah blah blah, talk. You know, this is a very important stuff. It really troubles me. When you go and sit with a friend, what do you talk? Just simply, I'm asking you, what you will talk?
Depends what kind of a person you are. For me, talk business.
Right.
Talk business.
Okay.
I'll engage with you.
Sorry to put you in the spot.
No, seriously. Talk to me business. I have a rule in my house. If you're coming inside my house,
Don't talk about others.
don't ask me about other people.
Exactly.
I'm not interested.
Very good.
Talk about us.
Very good.
Don't talk to me about other people.
Right, right.
I'm really not interested. Talk to me about business. I'll talk to you for hours and hours and hours. Other than that, I'm not interested. Or talk to me about music. That's me.
I am, likewise, you know, I'm very careful when you sit and have a discussion, have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Learn this one, cup of coffee.
I used to engage in some gossip.
Right.
But I'm like, hell no. I just wasted my time.
You know, I'll tell you my experience. I'll tell myself I am not letting a room to go and discussing another person. So I will say to them, even I like that. If you sit with me, be an intellectual like me. Talk about some general intellectual topics.
That's right. See, again, what I've noticed is what your interest is in is what you engage in.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So if you are a negative person, you like to hear negativity. If you are a positive person, you want to be around positive people. If you are in business, you want to talk just business. If you're in music, just music. If you love cooking, you'll only talk about cooking stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
Love it.
And those are the people that
Love
you
it.
hang out with. So when you sit and you bring gossip around to other people, you know what kind of person that is.
Exactly.
Right? But we are out of time.
All right.
Be bold, be brave is
Have
the
a-
new program that we have started. If you have any topics, if you want to talk about stuff, feel free to reach out to me. Once again, this program was not intended or directed towards anyone specific. If you didn't like anything that I have said, Pastor Ajit has said, you can totally disregard it. Once again, stay tuned and have a blessed day. We will come up with another episode of Be Bold, Be Brave, right here on Radio Bulamasti, Shana TV, GKM Media, and Dreams Radio BBC. Have a great day.
Thank you so
Ajit,
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Blessings. Bye-bye.